Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a battle between the roided out monks as Mr. Yo, playing as the Bengalis in red, takes on Hera, playing as the Aztecs in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with the goats and scouts of all kinds and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Speaking of butts, look at it go. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we are going to be watching today. Now, the Bengalis are an elephant civilization through and through. All of their elephant units receive less bonus damage, are more resistant to conversion, and can be upgraded to attack 20% faster, which does help out significantly since the Bengalis do get fully upgraded battle elephants, siege elephants, and their elephant archers also benefit from Parthian tactics. Now, in addition to that, all Bengali melee cavalry does come with a small attack bonus +2 against skirmishers, which makes defending against Feudal Age skirmisher play a little bit easier. Although, when you're facing off against Hera or even Mr. Yo or any of these pro players, is it really easy? Now, in order to support these slow elephant units on the battlefield, Bengali monks do come with a huge armor boost, +3/+3, and their unique unit, the Rata, is one of the most versatile units in the game, being a chariot unit that can switch between ranged attacks and melee attacks with trample damage. Now, I say it's one of the most versatile units. It's also probably the most hated units in the game, so always down to see that unit. And in order to support the Bengali army, every town center spawns 2 villagers for free whenever the next age is reached. So I'm hoping when Mr. Yo goes up to Feudal Age, assuming he will, that I am mindful enough to remember to look at the town center. I don't always, if you guys watch my cast before, no, I don't always manage to do that. And lastly, their villager and monk population can be upgraded to take up 10% less population space. The way that works is each one of these villagers, each monk takes up 0.9 population room instead of 1, which does free up extra room in the late stages of the game for more army. I'm thinking elephants, ratas, anything and everything you want to throw at your opponent, or maybe even just a giant, big old massive economy. Now, pivoting to the north side of the map, where we've got Hera playing as the Aztecs in blue, a warrior monk civilization. Aztec monk gain 5 hit points for every single tech that's researched. So a fully upgraded Aztec monk comes with a massive 100 HP compared to the usual 30 or 45. Now, to help with the cost of upgrading your monks, which is significant, any relics collected by the Aztec also generate 33% more gold than usual. So we'll see whether Mr. Yo, who generally likes to be the one gathering relics, or Hera is the one to take the relics. Now, to support their monks on the battlefield, all Aztec military units are trained 11% faster. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to have an extra range and attack boost, and their infantry can be upgraded to get a massive +4 attack boost, which does help out with their unique unit, the Jaguar Warrior, a middle-of-the-road infantry unit that comes with a pretty good attack bonus against other infantry. So perhaps not something we're going to be seeing today, but Jaguars, always fun to see, a very aesthetically beautiful unit. Now, to support the Aztec military production, the military industrial complex, all Aztec villagers do carry 3 extra resources right from the very start of the game. And if you take a look at the top right of your screen, you'll notice that Hera started the game with 50 extra gold, because the Aztecs get 50 extra gold right from the very start. So either you get loom for free, or you have a little bit of gold to train a few extra militiamen, or you have to mine a little bit less gold so that you can go up to Castle Age once you hit Feudal. Those are the 2 civilizations. A very, very fun mirror matchup. Not exactly, but a fun little bit of yin-yang. Both of them, like I said, one comes with monks that are roided out with extra armor. One comes out with monks that are roided out just period with 100 HP potentially. One has skirmishers that can be upgraded to do extra damage. One has cavalry that can do extra damage to skirmishers. So we'll see which direction this game goes. As always, whenever you see these 2 players, the last thing you want to do is predict the direction of the game, because you may find yourself incorrect and on the receiving brunt end of a few nasty comments online. There you go. The pregnant pause after I said that should clue people in. Exposed goats here. Should clue people in as to who I'm referring to there. Of course, referring to myself being a big narcissist. Now let's take a look at the Bengali base. Primary gold, very exposed to the front. Hera sees it, by the way, knows where to apply the pressure now. Where is the primary stone? Also in the forward position, which, by the way, is completely open here. a lot of forest cover here for our Bengali, who has extra two extra patches of gold, the proper way of saying that, to the back of the base, and an additional bit of stone to the front. Anything down here? Absolutely not. Just a very, very sad looking forest full of dead trees and dragon trees. Okay, let's take a look at the Aztec. Primary gold, primary stone, of course, nice and secure to the back. Forests in a decent triangle shape. So far what I'm seeing is very much in Hera's favor here. He also has additional gold and stone, unfortunately for him, in the very forward position. And where's the tertiary gold? It is right outside here, unsecured in the middle of nowhere. Although it doesn't look like our Aztec has any interest in walling his base off at the moment. But on the whole, not really any forests to the back, whereas our Bengali at least has a little bit of forest area, a little bit of extra wood to the back, additional gold to the back, but Hera's primary resources being so secure give him a significant advantage, as does this big, medium-sized forest here in the absolute forward position. This is literally a north-south straight line between these two bases, and there are two forests in the way, one of which inures to the benefit of our Aztec. One is a bit more neutral with a relic. Let's see how much more Hera has seen. Oh my goodness. Hera has seen everything. He's seen the archery range. He's seen the location of all of the resources. Yikes, Mr. Yo. A little bit of gap in the scouting, but has seen the primary stone, the primary gold. He's seen the forests. So good enough for now for both players, as Mr. Yo positions himself already 11 minutes in right next to the relic. Not too sure what the point of that is, as there's literally no unit on the map that can touch that. No one, be they worthy or whatever the hell it says on Mjolnir at the moment in Feudal Age. Uh-oh. Eagles show up. Two of them. They thought it was an easy pickings there with the one villager, but out pop four skirmishers. Even skirmishers right now, just because of the quantity, will be enough to scare away these eagles, even though generally with two pierce armor against a 2 attack, not exactly the big frightening specter that Mr. Yo expects it to be. 3 eagles now might actually make an issue of this, although one looks like he's peeling away because he's down to 3 HP. Mr. Yo right now needs quantity. There's nothing he can really do with so few eagles, as the first one falls face down into the sand. First blood drawn by our Bengali with his scout unit. We'll see how long that scout unit survives. He is under attack. He is being chased by a few eagles, but still faster than them because he is mounted on a horse, in case you didn't know. 4 eagles now approach. Their HP is not great. Hera is not accomplishing much, and he's losing HP as he does. So, okay. Proving my point. Look at the HP down below half. Haven't really done anything. Haven't really pulled any villagers off the production line, except for that one villager that was building a house many, many moons ago. We'll see if he takes this fight. The longer he sticks around, the worse it is for these eagles, because their HP is now down. I mean, they're down to 40%, basically. They do catch a random skirmisher here. Uh-oh. This might be problematic, because Mr. Yo is busy chasing these 4. Let's see what happens here. Another eagle dies. There is an archer mixed into here with a massive attack of 4 compared to the 2 of the skirmisher. And Hera finally manages to get the first kill of the game for himself, gunning down a skirmisher with these eagles. But man, are they bruised and battered. Let's take a look. Yeah, even if you add in all of the new recruits, the fresh-faced recruits who literally just got their dress, their spears, their sandals, their headdress, it's still not great, the HP. That being said, Mr. Yo doesn't feel like he can take this right now, and so he is retreating. There are a few healthy eagles here. They should be able to do a little bit of damage here. Hera just needs one more kill, and he evens up the kill count, unless Mr. Yo can get a kill on his belt, notches on his belt. No, Hera gets another kill. I apologize. It's actually Mr. Yo who needs a kill to even him up. Hera is now ahead 4-2, 4-3. Okay, so shenanigans abounding already in Feudal Age. Not as many skirmishers as I thought we were going to see, but our Aztec is already going up to Castle Age. The players disengage. A little bit of a chase continuing here. Looks like the eagles are trying to cut off the spearman, but there's enough ranged units here to shoo them away. Let's take a look at the bases. Like I said, it doesn't seem like Hera really cares about walling his base off. He's got his blacksmith, his market, 2 barracks. Our Bengali market being used as part of a wall-off. Isn't it so annoying when there's a lake that forms part of the wall-off? It's just, you have to be so careful to place a wall here or a wall here, otherwise, or maybe using this part as the wall. Otherwise, you never know what the hell can happen. If you miss a little gap in there, your opponent can exploit that very easily. We've got an archery range. We saw the market going up. Is there a blacksmith? Yes, there is. So both players have the requisite structures. Our blue Aztec is going to hit Castle Age light years ahead of his opponent. We'll see, though, what his opponent decides to do. Is he going to go Eagle Warrior? Or is he going to transition into something else? The fact that we are seeing 2 barracks, and by the way, has Mr. Yo seen it? Yeah, he has. So he must know that he's going to be facing in 9 seconds. I mean, he doesn't know in 9 seconds like we do, because we have, of course, the God's Eye caster view, that he is going to be facing eagles. Where's that upgrade? Come on. Come on, prove me right. For now, no upgrades whatsoever. Hera continuing to train. I can't imagine Hera's going to go up to 16 eagles and leave them as scouts. Mr. Yo just needs a little bit more food. He must be so glad that he's on this side of the map and not fighting on his side. And there disappears all the food at Castle Age for him. I, of course, missed where those 2 free villagers went to once he hit Feudal Age. But I'll be damned if I miss it again. So I'm going to try to make an actual real concerted effort here to take a look at the Bengali base. Although not going to be that hard because Hera's pressing in. He's getting squires, so these Eagle Scouts are going to move a little bit faster. Mr. Yo getting his mining upgrades for now. Creating an interesting wall off here. 2. Okay, so the name of the game for our Aztec is double spearmint gum. With double barracks, double monastery. As he chases away the last remaining Feudal Age army of his opponent, who can't be too upset. You know, for a few units, he kept Hera on his side of the map. The Eagles are not going to be able to bust through anything here because they're just melee units. So whatever they attack can easily be repaired. Hera is balancing his economy. He's buying some wood. Why? Because he's getting Bosa. He's also roiding up his monks a little bit with Sanctity. And now we're getting padded archer armor for our Bengali. Okay. Now, I said Hera probably won't train 16 eagles and leave them as scouts. So what does he do? He trains 19 and leaves them as scouts. Looks like Mr. Yo Scout continues his search for relics and looks like he's about to discover one. Good catch for him. The problem for Mr. Yo is that he's got a bunch of eagles nesting above his base. 5, 4, 3. Let's see where the villagers go. 2, 1. I completely did not notice where the hell those villagers went. I feel like I'm blind all of a sudden. What is going on? I completely missed where they went. I feel embarrassed. Yikes. I thought for sure I would notice where they're going. In any event, doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of villagers. A dozen of them get pulled off. He says, you want to attack through here? I freaking dare you. Eagle Scouts finally have forging, do have +1 armor as well. We're going light cavalry and bodkin for our Bengali, who destroys his own house. He sees that his opponent's stuck on Eagle Scouts. A secondary wall off behind that palisade that's going to go down. So he's definitely going the light cavalry route because of these 2 blood-soaked buildings. So he wants to snipe some monks, does our Bengali. These monks, by the way, now come with 55 HP. Will the archers get converted? Probably. One of them does. Did he waste the faith of all of the monks? Nope, just the one. Ooh, one is so weak, but he gets healed up by the others as he guns down his former friend, one red dead archer. Scouts chasing scouts, but now finally the Eagle Scout matures and becomes a warrior. What the hell is this? An Aztec town center in the incredibly forward position. Hera is just making himself at home. Okay. I like to see it. I also like to see Radas. Oh, pro players. Man, do they want to make this unit work. Man, do they want this unit to succeed. We have seen Bengalis. They have so many cool features, not the least of which are their elephants. But man, do we see a lot of pro players go the Rada route and really just trying to make that unit work, even though it's got so many deficiencies. One of them already got converted, by the way. Although, look, I'm not complaining. I love to see chariot units. It gives me Age of Empires 1 vibes. As Hera's eagle encounters the melee form. These two are kind of taking a break here. Are they on defensive stand? What's going on with these two? Why are they not attacking? One of them dies to the ranged Rata. Oh, man. The eagles, do they come with any kind of attack bonus? Cavalry? Yeah, so even the eagles have an attack bonus against the Rata, which I believe does have cavalry armor. Amongst the 5,000 different armor classes that it has, making it susceptible to every single counter unit in the game. Oh no, Mr. Yo's got a flock of eagles here, 18 of them in the back of his base. His army supply is at a massive 5. He's up 5 villagers. He's down 24 army count. He's getting a monk of his own. Okay, but Hera giving his opponent a little bit of room to breathe here, not really making an issue of this. Can be a little bit more active with these eagles. They are still at a +1/+1. He converted a stable. We're getting a shallot. Where is the stable that he converted? Ah, he converted the secondary wall off of Mr. Yo. Oh, come on. Don't hide him behind this. This unit is such a pretty unit. Don't hide him. Don't do this to us, Hera. That is so sour. That we're Mr. Yo. Think of all the things that have to happen for a shallot warrior to appear in a pro player game. The pro player has to let the stable get converted, which means you don't delete it as you see the monk with redemption trying to convert it. Then the stable has to survive the conversion, which means Mr. Yo's not attacking it to get rid of it. And then you have to train a shallot warrior out of it, which is basically, on the whole, just a glorified knight. And then you really do want to see that unit. It's so pretty. Look at all the different armor. Archer, cavalry, cavalry archer, unique unit. But herein lies the versatility of the Rata. 1, 2, 3 dead monks lie on the dance floor. They snipe him with the range, and then they close in on the eagles. And together with the castle, they clear up the attempted rear end. But there's a villager here. What the hell are you doing? You are building a house. After this villager dies, I really do want to look and see if Mr. Yo has noticed Hera's town center just due west of his base. No, he doesn't know. I don't know if he's seen the farms. I don't know if this is just, yeah, because look, there's no way he sees these farms. There's no vision here, but we can see that it looks like he sees them. I don't think he knows that that's there. By the way, is the guy still here, the shallot? Oh, come on, Hera. You can see just a tip of the cool headdress. Stable still up. Mr. Yo doubling down on the Ratas. There's a whole bunch of monks here, though. He's got to get the hell out of here. He's getting devotion and make his units a little bit harder to convert. Hera, for his part, doubling down on eagles and monks. Gathering relics. It's 3-0, about to become 4-0 for our Aztec, whose last relic is literally right next to his base, and he knows it. He sees it. So Mr. Yo, who usually likes to be the one who gathers the relics out on the map, has fallen woefully behind as he goes around on his journey to exterminate all the wildlife of Arabia. Not too sure what that was. I think a Rata that's finally, after a few years, melted into the sand. And there is pikes. Now, I should mention, like I said in the intro, that the elephants of the Bengalis can be upgraded to attack 20% faster. That is the pikes upgrade. And that, by the way, also affects Ratas. So now the attack speed is going to be 1.7, which is not amazing, but it's pretty damn good. And here's, again, just the versatility of the Rata on full display. As your enemy approaches you, you shower him with arrows. Then he closes, you turn into melee on the high ground. Just like that. And if your enemy disengages and runs away, well, then you go back into range mode and you pump his back full of arrows again. It is such a versatile unit. It's such a shame that you never see it used to victory, basically. Another scuffle here in the center of the map. A bunch of scuffles erupting everywhere. It looks like our Aztec has one Rata left, and it looks like it's about to die here to the north. He loses a monk as well. And look at that. Hera's infrastructure in front of Mr. Yo's base is being cleared out. Mr. Yo sitting on 2 castles, about to build a 3rd so he can keep training Ratas all the live long day. And he retreats, gathers his forces here to the center. Not too sure why they're attacking with range versus melee, but it is what it is. And what it is now a melee attack. So like I said, a lot of potential. Obviously your micro game has to be really on point with the Rata. It is not a unit for the faint of heart and the weak of fingers. You really, oh, there you go. Finally, Hera reveals the Shalot. Oh no, he's got only 28 HP. I'm so worried for a fake unit, a bunch of ones and zeros on the monitor in front of me. I got so nervous for the Shalot, even though he's being healed now by the monk. And Hera, 2.5 minutes away from Imperial. Oh, look at this. He discovers. Finally, he discovers. Oh, are you going to put them underneath the town center and do a synchronized attack like we all love to see? No, a bit of a disjointed attack. But the HP is falling. How many villagers inside? 15 villagers. I don't know that Mysterio wants to keep engaging into here with 15 villagers firing away. He's definitely going to lose 2 or 3 Ratas. Maybe not, though. They are destroying it fairly quickly. Do they have an attack bonus against buildings? I don't think so. No, 0. A few peel off, trying to catch some straggler villagers as the HP hits very, very shortly. 20%, 480, and boom! At 20%, it evicts all of the villagers. We'll see what kind of slaughter ensues here. Is now finally, where the hell have the Eagles been? Hera has been very happy to play around the map with the converted Ratas of his opponent, to the point where the Eagles kind of took a back seat for a few minutes there and disappeared. And now Mysterio doing what he loves to do, which is teefing relics. It went from 4-0, almost 5-0 for a second there. And now Hera has lost control of all of the relics, and Mysterio is just going one by one, pinching them to his heart's delight. Shift clicking this one monk like a yo-yo up and down between the relics and the monastery. And here we go. Let's take a look at the upgrades. +2/+2 on the Rata with pikes. Eagles, +1/+1. They're about to have +2 armor, though. And there you go. Just an amazing unit. It's like the Swiss Army knife of Age of Empires. You see your opponents trying to run away with a few monks? Well, snipe them right from behind, why don't you? But now some counter units are out. Pikemen. Block printing is what our Aztec is prioritizing with 2 monks. I thought for sure he would keep going with infantry upgrades since he's got 17, going up to 21 infantry units. But I guess he's not too scared of these Ratas. They're not really going to destroy these buildings very quickly. Although remember in melee mode, they do trample damage. Okay, but these ones don't look like they're in melee mode at all. These ones look like they got converted immediately. Something is attacking Mr. Yo's castle down here. It's got to be a Treb, right? Yeah, we got a first player to Imperial, as always, pumps out a Treb. 1 Rata falls. They're going to go after the villagers as well. Looks like a tactical retreat here by Mr. Yo, who guns down the remaining converted Ratas and a few supporting Eagles. Hera is a little broke. I'm wondering why we're not seeing elite Eagles. I'm wondering why we're not seeing any further upgrades for these. Where's the Garland Wars to add a +4 attack to these pikemen and these Eagles? I'm then looking at his resources, and he is investing every ounce of gold, every bar from the Aztec Federal Reserve into not upgrading, into training more and more monks. And whatever little gold he's got left over, he's using for his Trebs. So Hera has an opportunity here with the Trebs, but I don't know. I'm starting to get a little worried here for our Aztec. Oh, but with the conversions again, does he even need to spend money on military if he's just going to take his opponent's military and turn it into his own? Will the Treb fall is getting repaired so well. And what an absolute disastrous sortie by Mr. Yo underneath that castle. Loses a whole bunch of Ratas to conversions to the castle. But now he's in the back of Hera's base. Looks like a whole bunch of villagers have died as well. Both players just absolutely tearing into each other. But look at the kill count. Mr. Yo has killed 46 villagers. Oh, you're not going to Viper me, he says as he moves forward. Loses another unit to conversions. We're going to have to take a very good look at the conversion count at the end of this game. And oh, the last thing you want to do is engage into a whole bunch of pikes from downhill. And Mysterio's army yet again gets wiped off the face of the earth. This time, though, a little salt in the wound, the loss of a castle. He's selling 900 wood for gold. He's going up to Imperial himself. The elephants are out. 42 minutes into the game, the elephants are out. 50 kills for these 11 units, 25 of them villagers. But you're on move command. You're going to run into a bunch of pikemen who immediately destroy you. I think they, no, okay, so no, I was wondering if we were, this is how a brain fart of yours truly. Hera's an Imperial. Mysterio's going up to Imperial. For some reason, my brain confuses the two and says, okay, your Radas are now in Imperial as well. Do you have Parthian tactics? Do you have an attack bonus against the Spearman line units? And of course, he's still in Castle, so of course he does not. Hera making use of the very simple principle in Age of Empires. If you don't want to build your own army, then just convert your enemies, as villagers now take matters into their own hands and absolutely wreck these armored elephants. They have negative melee armor, which means anything that attacks with melee, example villager, does extra damage. And look at this. Our Aztec has 4 Radas to the 7 of our Bengali, who is now housed because he keeps losing his castles. He's down to 1 last rear castle. The 5 relics are also in a hot second about to be evicted from their home. 1 more. And out they go. Hera moves forward with a whole bunch of monks. Again, Hera is absolutely broke when it comes to gold, but not because he's not planning his economy well. He's broke because he's spending it all on military. For a while, he was down in both military and civilian population, but now he's back up to a significant army lead, 33 to 10. He still has those 4 Radas. Of course, right as I say that, he loses 1. So both players have 3 Radas of their own. And Hera, you stole him from me. I'm going to steal him right back from you. Oh, but all the extra HP, even 70 HP, wasn't enough to get the last final relic, which Mysterio pinches. And now it's going to be 4 to 1. Where is there a monastery here? Okay, he's building it now. And Hera has just cracked open the Bengali base. Down go 2 castles. Down go the OG town center. Another castle or town center. Probably a town center that was here. And the elephants, the last expeditionary force of our Bengali, is down. And look at the map all of a sudden. There is no more red presence anywhere out on the map. And by the way, Radas are not cheap. Radas are not cheap at all. 60 wood, 60 gold. And Mysterio, look at his resources. He's got enough gold for 1 Rada. And there's your dismounted Shalot warrior, otherwise known as a Jaguar warrior, batting away at the villagers. Well, will he lose 1 to a conversion? Will he notice? Not noticing so far. Loses 1 to the conversion. And oh, okay. So in another interesting quirk of Age of Empires, it is our Bengali who has more Jaguar warriors than our Aztec, as our Aztec has more Radas than our Bengali. Well, wouldn't you look at that? That's why I said if you ever try to predict games between these 2 players, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Unless you like being wrong. I guess there's people who like being wrong. Man, even the skirmishers are not enough to one-shot these roided out Aztec monks. This is just absolutely ridiculous. The castle is under siege, but more importantly, the Trebs are under siege. Once Hera gets rid of Mysterio's Trebs, it is going to be very bad for our Bengali, who, okay, establishing a bit of a hippie commune here to the east of the map. Converted Radas are wreaking havoc here, although this guy with 3 HP, send a villager. Send a villager to get rid of him. Small army groups are all over the place. Hera at this point doesn't really need that much army. He's got 10 monks. Let's take a look at their faith. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are full faith. 75 HP. Down goes the last Treb of Mysterio, who is now training more Radas. But behind this, I mean, I love the emergency archery ranges. He had 1,500 wood and he used it very well. Now he's buying stone. Why is he buying stone? Because he's plopping down a castle. Oh, he wants, what a gorgeous location for a castle, by the way. Lame your opponent's stone and get control of 6 patches Not full patches for the most part, but 6 patches of stone nonetheless. Hippie commune moves south to mine some gold together. Not really historically accurate that gold brings people together. Mostly the thirst for gold, the quest for gold is what drives people apart. Drives these skirmishers to try to kill these eagles, but these warriors now have 7 pierce armor. Oh, poor skirmishers that attack on a 7 against 7 pierce armor do 1 unit of damage to the HP. Okay, the Radas though, they close in. Oh, and it looks like Hera got a castle up here as well, and all of a sudden Mysterio's brilliant location. Hera says, you know what, I like that idea. And now he's shelling away at it with his trebs as well. Looks like the hippie miners to the east are being shooed away. And down goes the second last castle of the Bengali, who finds himself swarmed by eagles who in 2 seconds are going to be elite. Hera finally upgrades the eagles to elite. 8 pierce armor makes them absolutely uncaring in the face of the skirmishers in the castle. And down goes our Bengali. What a ridiculous game. Ridiculous in the most positive sense of the word, by the way. And where are you even going to take these? There's no monastery here. Did you even bring villagers into the forward position? I mean, there's one villager. Where is she? There she is, hiding behind the house like that Shalot warrior. I mean, what an absolute bonkers game. Everything from the question mark town center to the double monastery play, from the double barracks play to the endless Rada play. I mean, attempt number, what, 2,000 of the pro players of Age of Empires to try to make this happen. This is not happening. I have yet to see the Radas, except there was one game with Doubt where he made it happen. I forget a guy, I think against the Bohemians, maybe like 6 months ago. But that's the only thing that can come into recent memory. Look, I'm not upset at it. Like I said, this unit, on paper, in theory, is an absolute beast of a unit. Like I said, when your opponent attacks into you, you fire them, pump them full of arrows, then you engage in a melee attack. Then if they retreat, you pump them full of arrows again, or you retreat with 2 horses. Now, for a unit that has 2 horses pulling it, it certainly moves slow as shit. Maybe it needs to be buffed a little bit to make it move a little faster. But out of 22 army supply, 21 of it is skirmishers that do 1 damage to these eagle warriors, and 1 Rada that looks like he's about to die as these eagles poke upwards and take him off of that chariot and kill him. So this is Mysterio's, oh, except for this guy here. Look at him throwing a spear, a javelin. This is Mysterio's entire army. He's got nothing out on the map. The peacenik villagers, the hippies, looks like one of them died. The other survived for a hot second, survived only because his opponent resigned. And now the largesse of the Aztec Empire means that she gets to live. Although if we're speaking of Aztec Empire, she probably gets to live for another 5 minutes before they bring her over here and cut out her heart and sacrifice her in a victory triumph. But wow, what an absolute ludicrously ridiculous game. We saw the Bengali have more Jaguar warriors than our Aztec. We saw the Aztec have more Ratas than our Bengali. We saw a few armored elephants randomly walking around the map, looking for an oasis, perhaps, looking for some sources of water, for some buildings to destroy. And Hera made himself at home, lost control of the center, got pushed back. Mysterio for a while was looking very dangerous with that mass of Radas. And then he just lost way too many to the conversions. He went full on meme build, and I say this all the time, I'm gonna keep saying it. When you go full on meme build, it is always easy to counter. You can't just build one unit type in this game and not expect it to be countered, especially not when your opponent has 12 range monks that are Aztecs and your Rada has what, 7 range. So literally 5 tiles, literally this farm and then 2/3 of this farm. That's the difference in range between the monk and the Rada. And so good for Mr. Yo for trying to make the Rada a thing, trying to make it work. Unfortunately, did not work out to his benefit. And even though Hera had 88 eagles, like I said, for about half the game, he wasn't really using eagles. He was kind of just playing around with Mr. Yo's army. You know, like like two kids at a daycare, and one takes the toys of the other and then plays with them and says, "These are mine now." That's exactly what happened here. I didn't mean for that to sound insulting in any way. 96 Radas, 88 Eagles, PKPM halfway through the game, PKPM a little bit before that. Hera dipping a little bit below his usual 200. The economy is almost identical. The difference here, okay, Relic Gold not really playing a role. Mysterio, good for him. For somebody who had zero control of relics for the majority of the game, getting 1200 to the 1900 of your opponent is pretty big, pretty good. A little bit more stone, a lot more wood. Hera with a bit more food and a lot more gold. This is where the monks came from. And like I said, the game, for the majority of the game, Hera was very broke. Oh my god, 47 conversions out of 176. That's almost 30%. What is that, like 26, 27, 28? A quarter of the Bengali army lost to conversions? That's insane. Hera also destroyed 29 buildings to 9, which is pretty bonkers as well. But 47 conversions is pretty bonkers. Mysterio, though, on the whole, did kill literally double the amount of units that Hera killed, both economic and military. He also killed more, actually killed more economic and killed more military, if we're looking at the stats. And for like I said, for a brief while, for a brief shining moment, Mysterio was ahead both in army count and civilian count. And it looked very, very dangerous for Hera. He was knocked back to this part of the map. He had lost control of the center, but he hit Imperial first. And with Imperial came out the Treb. And with the Treb came out the clearing of the castle, which, by the way, Mysterio absolutely failed to dislodge that Treb. He was fighting into a massive triple thread. He was fighting uphill. What a perfect location, by the way, for a castle. Look at how amazing this is. You can't approach anything here from the uphill, or even unless you go here, but to get here you have to go from the downhill to uphill. So number 1, castle fire. Number 2, uphill. Number 3, surrounded by pikes and eagles, and more importantly, monks. Mysterio tried multiple times to disengage, to destroy that Treb, not disengage, to destroy it. Failed, lost the castle somewhere here, I don't know, somewhere in this area there was a castle. And then lost his town center, got his base breached, and at that point it was basically game over. And wow, Hera with the quicker Imperial, the toying around, and look, he can go up to Imperial quicker when you don't have to train units, when you've basically converted 47 of your opponent's units. 47 is higher than Mysterio's army high at one point, but out of a total of 176, that's still a ridiculous statistic. When you can do that, and you can then use your opponent's units against him, you don't need to train your own units. You can get your upgrades later, like he's doing now, and you can just save your resources and go up to Imperial, bump out a Treb, destroy the infrastructure, push your way in, and surround your opponent, who has been knocked down literally into the corner here. And so unfortunately, even though we saw some pretty cool plays out of both players, even though we saw an attempt, like I said, number 2000 by a pro player to make the Rada work, unfortunately it did not. It is our Aztec with those crazy Aztec monks. You wonder why I call them a warrior monk civilization? Let this be a lesson to you. It is Hera with the warrior monks who is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.